and welcome to another great week on the Jet Set. Coming up on this week's show, I'm joined by Marissa Rodriguez to talk about how she ended up using her vacation to dig up dinosaur bones. And we're heading out to explore Gettysburg.
That's my line. And we're heading out to explore Gettysburg. There, I did it.
And I've got your weekly dose of travel inspiration coming up on the go. All this and more is about to take off right here on the Jet Set.
Welcome aboard. Are you ready to go? Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to travel, food, fitness, and everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. It's time to Jet Set.
It's time to talk travel news on this week's edition of Here's This, powered by TravelPulse.com. According to a new survey by HealthcareInsider.com, which focused on Americans' perceptions of the pandemic's end, millennials are 50% more likely than Gen Xers and 15% more likely than baby boomers to feel comfortable traveling, at least by the fall of 2021. When participants of varying ages were asked to choose which out of 10 specific activities they most look forward to resuming, quote, not having to wear a mask topped the list with 26% of the overall vote, followed by family gatherings at 18% and travel at 17%.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't really mind wearing the mask.
You know, it feels so weird. Like now when I watch a movie and like people are at a club or I'm like, what's going on? And I miss those days a lot, but it's kind of become so like ubiquitous that I'm like leaving the house, keys, mask, this whole thing, like everything.
I know,
going.
I think I commented on it the other day too, like going to the store, you look at everyone leaving the grocery store wearing a mask and you don't think anything of it. And I'm like, wow, when did that become normal?
I don't know.
Like when did it become normal that if someone's not wearing the mask, you're like, what are you doing?
That's an also thing I don't like the mask shaming and the thing. It's like, everybody just be cool, wear your mask, be cool, no shame, no shaming. Actually, speaking of this, my mom,
yes,
baby boomer generation, no one is more excited to travel more than Laura McFadden out there in Palm Desert, California.
Why don't we just give her address too?
Yeah. She is ready.
She doesn't need to travel, just have everyone go visit your mom.
She is so ready.
You know, now they broke down the results of this by age groups. And meanwhile, baby boomers said that they're most looking forward to family gatherings over the ability to stop wearing a mask and traveling.
Oh, 100% for sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
She cannot wait to see Samantha. All of Samantha's grandparents are like, what? Because they missed a whole year of her life. And now she's, you know, running the world now. So they feel like they missed out on her life. So
yeah.
I get that. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. All right, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings canceled cruises now through May 31st, 2021.
Oh, come on.
Now that's for Norwegian Cruise Lines, Oceania Cruises, and Regent Seven Seas Cruises. However, in the announcement on NCL.com, the company said that it has not canceled the 2021 Alaska season, even though Canada has banned passenger cruising through February of 2022 already. The company said that it has temporarily stopped accepting Alaska 2021 bookings, but that they are currently exploring several initiatives that may allow such cruises to continue.
So does that mean you can kind of just like go by it and like wave at it?
Usually you would stop like in Victoria on the way back, but now that's...
They're like, not till next year.
Yeah, not till exactly a year, February 2022.
They're just like, hey, look, there it is. Just wave at it. Keep going.
Now, it was just announced, I think, a week or two ago that you no longer need a negative COVID test to visit Alaska. Alaska was requiring a negative COVID test to even go visit there.
Okay. And now you can not only just wave at Canada on your way to Alaska, you can just go to Alaska.
You could just fly to Alaska if you want. You don't need a negative COVID test.
I want to go and see those doggies up there and do the dog sledding. What's the race that they call it? Idolatrod?
I have no idea.
Somebody out there knows it. You guys know what I'm talking about, the dog
Brad's
sledding.
telling you,
Iditarod. That's what I want to do. Yes, I'm ready. I will wave at Canada and I'm up to Alaska.
Wave at Canada. So how are you getting there? Are you going to fly there?
I'm walking at this point.
You got to walk through Canada, Nikki. You can't just walk across the ocean and make your way to Alaska.
You know, I was a junior Olympic swimmer.
We'll teach Nikki some geography, and in the meantime, we'll be right back in 30 seconds with more.
Stretching.
It seems like you can't go to a grocery store or liquor store or socially distanced backyard barbecue without seeing a can of hard seltzer. Ricardo Marquez is the VP of Marketing for Michelob Ultra, and he joins us today to talk about the trend and about the newest flavor release of the first nationally distributed USDA-certified organic hard seltzer. Welcome to the show, Ricardo.
Thank you for having me, Bobby.
Well, thank you for being here. So why do you think hard seltzer is growing in popularity, especially during this past year? And how did it become the fastest growing category in the alcoholic beverage industry?
That's right. I mean, the fastest growing category in the alcohol industry and showing no signs of slowing down, exploding in popularity over the last few years. And listen, that comes down to the fact that hard seltzers very much so connect with what drinkers are looking for today. You know, people are looking for light refreshment. People love to explore different flavor combinations. And then, of course, more and more health-conscious drinkers looking for low-carb or zero-sugar options, right? So, you know, if you look at all this, it's clear that seltzers very much so fit the lifestyle of today's drinker.
And that's why I buy it myself. Now, you're here to help introduce a second variety pack known as the Classic Collection, and it has 3 new flavors. Can you tell us about it?
That's right. I mean, perfect timing, right, with spring around the corner. This is our newest addition to the Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer family, our second variety pack, the Classics Collection, featuring the all-new mango, apricot, citrus, and mixed berry. So new flavor combinations, all, of course, made with real organic juice, only 90 calories, no added sugar, and of course with the USDA seal of approval, so USDA organic. So we're really excited. We think this is going to do really, really well for these warmer days ahead.
Well, thank you, Ricardo. I'm ready to enjoy one of those mixed berry ones this afternoon. Where can we go and get more information?
Well, for more information on our website, michelobultra.com, and our social handles on Facebook and Instagram at Michelob Ultra.
Thanks so much for joining us and letting us know about those new flavors, and I'll be in line at the grocery store to get my own.
Thanks again for having me, Bobby. Thank you.
There are many ways to travel. Some of us want to sip pina coladas on the beach, while others are looking for immersive or experiential travel. Marissa Rodriguez later found a way to be fully immersed in history and science by taking part in a volunteer vacation on an active dinosaur dig in Wyoming. That is so awesome. Marissa, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Marissa, how did you manage to go on a dinosaur dig?
You know, I decided a few years ago that I wanted to do something really different. I like vacations that have a little bit of adventure and a learning aspect. And so I ended up scouring the internet and finding a dig in Wyoming. So I applied and was accepted to attend. So that's how I managed to do it.
Okay, so what is that experience ultimately really like?
Yeah, it's, boy, I think I was a little unprepared for it, but it was great because you go and you get trained in exactly what to do. And then once you start digging, it is a lot of work. I think there's a lot of manual labor involved that maybe some people don't realize. I think some people think that what they see in a museum is how bones are, but they're not. You have to do a lot of digging. But then once we got to where the bones were, there were bones everywhere. I mean, we were stepping on bones. There were so many bones around. And what we ended up digging up was a Triceratops that was 66 million years old. I know.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I am so into this. This is great. Hey, Marissa, where did you stay when you were out there?
Yeah. Can I talk a little bit more about the bone?
Oh,
yeah,
yes, of course.
Please,
Go
sure.
for it. Yeah.
That to me is sort of the most exciting part. I mean, some of the things that we found from the Triceratops were the horns and the frill. There was some kids next to me who actually dug up the frill, which is the part behind the Triceratops head. And then we even found T-Rex teeth. And then the experience itself was, again, it was a little hard because you didn't know if you were looking at rock or bone. So we learned how to distinguish the two from one another, and you can tap and actually hear the difference. But then something I figured when all else fails, what we learned to do was lick the rocks. So I never thought I would say.
Hold on. You lick the rocks to figure out if it's bone or rock?
Yes, if you don't know, and sometimes you really can't tell, you lick rocks and your tongue sticks to bone because it's a little porous. So, I mean, I was
That's
happily
awesome.
licking rocks.
I love every single thing about this. Marissa, you are amazing. This is awesome.
So what gave you the idea to begin with to even go on a dig? Like you were like one day sitting at home, like, I'm really bored. I want to dig up a dinosaur.
Okay, I want to be honest here. So I actually went on, I had a little bit of interest in archaeology in college and went on this dig thinking, oh, I'm going to go on an archaeology dig. Well, I find out that this is a mistake a lot of people make because archaeology and paleontology are different things. Paleontology is digging up something that used to be a living creature or person, and archaeology is digging up artifacts that people made. So I kind of had it in my mind that I wanted to go, I had a real sense of discovery. I wanted to find something. And then when it was 66 million-year-old bones, I mean, you can't get much better than that.
That is that is really, really cool.
That was really cool. All right, so if other people out there want to go on a dig, how do they find out where to go? How can they follow your adventures?
Yeah.
Where do we send everyone to go get more information?
Like me.
Like Nikki.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I did find that it was kind of hard to find these sorts of things because I started looking for more myself. So what I decided to do, I've talked to so many people who said, I really, really want to do this. But it was like finding a needle in a haystack. So I decided to start something called Ancient Odysseys. And it's a website for people like me who want to find active paleontology and archaeology digs. And the cool thing is like these kinds of things are everywhere and they're open to people of all ages. And especially now, COVID, it's kind of a cool thing to do because you can be outside. So it feels kind of safe. So that is sort of an easy way for people to find things is to go to ancientodysseys.com and subscribe. And I'm going to be updating as new digs come on board.
Marissa, I am ready to start my adventure with my family.
She's your biggest fan.
Yeah, I just love this idea. I'm so happy you went on this adventure to share with all of us, and I'm ready.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us and for coming on the show. You have to come back and tell us the next time you're going on a dig.
Thank you. I would love to.
Thanks, Marissa.
Thank
All
you.
right.
When was the last time your beauty cabinet had a refresh? To help us tackle this task, lifestyle and beauty expert Millie Almodovar is here to share tips on taking inventory of what you've got to spring clean your beauty routine and to help you decide what stays, what goes, and what you can add. So what steps should we take when cleaning out our beauty cabinets and bags?
Well, the turning over a new season is the perfect time to say out with the old and in with the new. It's the perfect time to make space in your beauty cabinet. And I have two important tips for getting the process started. First, you got to check expiration dates on product containers. Expired products could be less effective and they shouldn't be used. Now, as a good rule of thumb, if a product has been open longer than 12 months, it's likely time to toss it. Now that we've made the room, consider what you need going into a new season. Consider all things from skincare to hair to personal care. From here, you'll be able to have a clear vision of what you need, but now you've got that newfound space to fit everything in.
Now that we've cleaned everything out, where should we begin when searching for new products?
Well, the weather will be warming up soon, and we'll be spending more time outdoors. So it's likely time to find the new moisturizer. The Olay Regenerist with SPF 25 moisturizer is a lightweight moisturizer with added SPF. So it makes it super simple to incorporate sun protection into your daily beauty routine. Now, unlike other moisturizers with SPF, Olay leaves a matte finish. So you don't have to worry about your skin having that greasy look or feel. The great thing is it's perfect for all skin types and tones because it quickly absorbs into the skin and it stays on clear. So again, you don't have to worry about having a white cast on your face too. You can find it at local retailers and online at olay.com.
All right, now that we've got our skin covered, what about our smiles?
Well, spring is all about resetting, right? And making easy and convenient upgrades to our routine. So this is the perfect time to brighten our smile. New Crest Whitening Emulsions is the brand's first ever leave-on teeth whitening treatment, and it's so easy to incorporate into your everyday beauty and grooming routine. This breakthrough enamel safe formula has highly active hydrogen peroxide droplets that work instantly and continue to whiten your teeth long after you apply. Now you can swipe it on in seconds and go about your day. No rinsing or brushing needed at all. For noticeably whiter teeth, continue to apply for about 14 treatments with virtually no sensitivity. You can find this at crestwhitesmile.com.
Do you have any other tips you can share?
Yes, I am a big lover of dry brushing. And dry brushes are great because they do a few things. They exfoliate your skin, they boost circulation to your skin, and they allow your products to penetrate so much better. So they are perfect for just getting rid of all that dead skin that you've gotten in the winter. This is just going to clear it up. You do it for about 5 minutes right before you jump in the shower, and you do it in an upwards motion. You can get it at your local retailer.
All right, where can we go and get more information?
For Olay, you go to Olay.com. For Crest, you go to crestwhitesmile.com. And then for the dry brush, you can find it in your local retailer.
Thanks for joining us today, Millie.
Thank you.
If you're expecting, make sure you know your risks for cardiovascular disease. Here's more.
Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of all maternal death and can affect a woman of any age. Knowing your risk of having a heart attack or stroke while pregnant may save your life.
Higher risk factors include being Black, American Indian, or Alaskan Native, age over 35, having high blood pressure, and being obese. Visit your healthcare provider to find out if you may be at risk.
To learn more, visit goredforwomen.org.
We've got to take another break, but I'm taking us out to explore Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. You won't want to miss it. For many of us, when we hear Gettysburg, we think of the famous address by Abraham Lincoln, but a trip to Gettysburg is so much more than that, and it's a little bit of history all mixed in. Now, we had the chance to visit and explore all of the amazing things this awesome city has to offer.
Gettysburg is a short, easy drive away from New York, Washington, D.C., and other points northeast, and a place where history comes alive. We spent a day there, starting with the Soldiers' National Cemetery, situated at the site of the most crucial battles of the Civil War.
We are now in the National Cemetery, Gettysburg. To my knowledge, it's the first military cemetery in world history, knowingly that way. It is America's first military cemetery. We have another national cemetery prior to this, but this is our first military cemetery. Largely Civil War dead are buried within the heart of the cemetery there. There's an annex beyond that stone wall with more dead, and then these are World War II and World War I largely veterans right down there. 2 men buried under that tree were killed at Pearl Harbor, originally interred in the Punch Bowl Cemetery, as they call it out in Hawaii. That tree was a gift from the nation of Japan prior to the war, and it's a Japanese maple they rest under.
We learned from our guide Dawn that alongside the notables buried there, there are many who are unknown. Well, sort of.
That's unknown dead.
Okay.
What's unfair to me about it, we know the names of some of these men. But because of regulations about reburial here, you had to have not just the name, you had to have his unit he served in, like the 134th New York or the 27th Pennsylvania. They don't have that, and paperwork wasn't so good then.
Right.
So while they know their names, they buried them unknown. Seems like if they got a name, it should be on the grave.
Yeah.
A walking tour always makes us hungry, so we headed to Mila Kitchen, home of Jack's Hard Cider.
I heard this used to be a movie theater.
It used to be a Frank's movie theater. Closed, I think, about like 7 years ago or so. And when Jack's Hard Cider was looking for a new production facility, they decided to move in, tear out all the theaters except for one of them that we kept. And then we took about 10,000 square feet and put in this beautiful restaurant and tasting room.
All of this looks incredible.
Delicious.
Tell me what we get to try.
So right now we have 2 of our signature pizzas cooked in our Maraforni pizza oven, as you can see behind me here. We run about 700 degrees. We do a 2-day fermented dough. It's going to be nice and light and crispy and charred.
Dig it.
We have the apple bacon, which kind of ties in with our whole cider theme. And we have a traditional margarita utilizing some really good local mozzarella that we hand stretch in house here.
I gotta say, I've not had apple on pizza before, but at first I was like, I'm not so sure about this. This is amazing.
Good, good. We do a lot of things here that are like family style and meant to be shared with your table. So you could order a half or a whole steak and then just share it.
And it's that good. How many people actually end up sharing it?
I don't know, but I know that I came here to eat with my wife and friends the other day, and I didn't get a piece of steak, so.
Then it was off to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. The campus itself is the site of another famous battle.
So this site, this is an original building. It was constructed in 1832. It was the first building constructed here on the seminary campus. And on the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg, the battle is going to begin about 2 miles to the west of this building along Harris Ridge, west of town. And by the end of the day, the fighting is going to come basically to the back door of this building. Throughout the day, it's going to be turned into a field hospital, and there are going to be hundreds of wounded patients that are brought into this building and are going to be suffering here for 3 days while the building is in Confederate hands. One thing that we always have to remember, though, is that before and after the battle, the building was used as a school. It was constructed as a seminary building, and it was used for that purpose for 30 years before the battle even took place here. So there are debates that are going on in this building over issues of religion, over issues of slavery, leading up to the fracturing of the nation in 1861 during the Civil War. And we cover those debates here in our museum and looking at what was going on in America before the Civil War, through the Civil War, and then even after up to the present day.
Gettysburg was awesome, wasn't it?
It really was, and it's so close to DC too. It's within
really
driving distance of so many different places. Everyone needs to go and take a trip out to Gettysburg.
It was awesome. Okay, well, we have to take one final break, but I've got your weekly travel inspiration coming up on the go. Where do you think I'm sending you? Where?
I don't know.
Where? Okay, it's time again for your weekly travel inspiration on the go, where this week we're sending you to visit Zion National Park. Bobby, are you ready?
It's not in the South, yes.
Okay, well, go stay at Lefebvre. I'm going to say Lefebvre Resort. Just 1 mile from the park entrance, Lefebvre is the ultimate destination for luxury accommodations while visiting Zion. Units feature modern design, a living room, full kitchen with stainless appliances, a dining table, and a quartzite countertops. What? It is a sanctuary where you can enjoy the beauty of Zion National Park right from your own private balcony.
I just want to know, Nikki, when you talk about luxury, why your shoulders have to go up?
Because it makes you feel good. Because I say luxury and it's my favorite word. Go grab lunch at Zion Canyon Brew Pub. Visitors from around the world can enjoy a pint of their latest selections, all while enjoying excellent lunch, live music, unbeatable views from the beer garden patio. That sounds so fun right now.
Yep.
And of course, go explore Zion National Park. Whether you're trying to catch your breath while climbing the trail to Observation Point or watching the shadows constantly change the mood of the Court of the Patriarchs, which I just learned about, Zion National Park is always ready to quench your appetite for outdoor wonder.
If only you saw everything behind the scenes. But for now, you can follow us on social media, facebook.com/thejetsettv.
Bye!
See you next week, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Court of the Patriarchs. I'm observing.